Welcome bitches, one and all, to my reaction to Season 2, Episode 3 of Young Royals. So, last time we had some very interesting insights into Wilhelm's mind and more specifically how he sees Simon's request for space as him not caring and him just moving on from Wilhelm, which is sad to see. I hope through these counseling sessions he will be able to get to a more healthy place within his mind and understand why Simon might be wanting some space. And it's not because he has given up on Wilhelm. It's not because he no longer cares. It's because it's just fucking hard right now, you know? Now, getting into episode 3, I have seen a few comments saying, prepare yourself for this episode. So I'm a little bit like, what's gonna go on? So I'm excitedly hesitant to get into it, but yes, with all that said, very excited to get into it and see where the story goes. So without further ado, let's go.
Acknowledge how you feel. Breathing in.
Interesting. Is he doing some breathing exercises to help with anxiety?
Breathe in.
Oh, I love to see him putting in the effort to try and help himself, you know? I hope he continues these counseling sessions though. Interesting, he's calling a lawyer. True, didn't think of that. What do you mean, what prison? Do you not understand what you did, August? I truly don't think he understood the gravity of the situation and how fucked up what he did was, you know? I'm surprised that he's surprised. Probably crying in his room.
Alltså jag kan inte ha folk I laget som inte presterar. Så enkelt är det. Nivån är så jävla låg.
Okej. Han tycker inte jag platsar I laget I alla fall. Skit I honom.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was all very directed at Simon.
Spelar ingen roll om ni fuskar eller inte. Ni kommer alltid komma undan. Jag måste hela tiden bevisa mig själv. Annars så skyller han på mig.
Oh my boy.
Jag försökte bara hjälpa dig.
Fokus där bak.
That's a hard one. That is a very hard scene to unpack because Simon is very justified in his feelings. That was obviously very directed at him. All of the shit talk there by the coach. So I do understand him feeling frustrated there, but I also understand that it's not Wilhelm's fault and he's struggling himself. So having someone like throw all of that on him and say that it matters that we cheated and it doesn't really feel good that we cheated. Like, he was trying to help you, my boy. He was trying to make it so that you could stay in this class for your grades. Like, do you get what I mean? It's like Wilhelm has done nothing wrong in that regard. So don't get angry at him for that. It's like, I get it, but it's not nice to see Wilhelm be like, well, all right, I was just trying to help, you know, because we all know he's struggling as well. It's just all fucking shit.
Sara, det kommer några och kollar på Rousseau imorgon. Så du kanske inte behöver vara här då. Men jag vill vara här. Jag vill veta vad det är för människor.
Oh god, is she gonna like convince them to not buy him?
Är du hungrig?
Ingen
Gå på impuls, kör. Kör.
Pasta? Nej, sushi. Pokeball.
Pokeball, get a bibimbap. Oh my god. Oh my god. Felice, you've actually got me fucking hungry now. I'm upset.
Maten här har varit lite sådär senaste veckan och jag känner att det påverkar mitt fokus. Toppen, tack ska du ha. Hej.
That's so funny.
Ja.
He's just put in a food order with the royal court.
Du ska ju få till det med Marcus. Han kom till oss I matsalen idag och frågade efter dig.
Oh shit.
Alltså han är fett fin och allting men det känns bara som att han gillar mig på riktigt.
Okej, och du gör inte det eller?
Jag vet inte.
I mean, I feel like for Simon, it's too early days to like anyone else. He's still very much caught up in his feelings from Willa. I assume that he's still in love, if you could say that, with Willa. So I get it. I get that he's not really prepared for a relationship and you don't want to get into a situationship with someone who actually wants to be in a relationship because then it's a recipe for disaster down the road. You don't want to upset them. You don't want to cause them any harm, but he also doesn't want to be alone right now. It's, once again, the common theme of Young Royals. It's all just fucking shit. And everyone's just going through a lot of pain right now. So hopefully as the season goes on, that eases out and we can settle back down to everyone being happy. But I think we've got a long way to go to get there.
Jag fattar bara inte varför jag inte kan bli kär I han.
Interesting. That would be all too easy, my boy. Speak of the devil. I love these two together. It's so cute.
Frågade Simon och Marcus att de inte känner varandra.
Wilhelm, this is a dangerous path, my boy. He did not say that he does not know him. He said that he's from so-and-so. I can't remember the name. Everyone knows each other there. He didn't say that he doesn't know him. He just didn't reveal how deeply he knows him. And I do get all of this. It's very much just, it's constantly on Wilhelm's mind. He's going to be thinking the worst. He's going to think that Simon has completely moved on, doesn't love him anymore, has fallen in love with Marcus. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where his mindset's at right now. So I do understand, but my boy, relax. You gotta take it slow. You gotta just accept what's happening. And if you do truly love him and you want to get him back, then be the best you can be to him, you know? Show him why you're worth it. Because you are fucking worth it, you know? But yeah, I'm very glad that he's got Felice here and they've formed a nice relationship. It's cute.
Jag kollade hans mobil.
Men Ville, seriöst.
Det var dumt. Jag vet att det borde vara okej att han träffar andra. Jag vet att det borde kännas okej, men det gör ju inte det. Det går ju inte att känna så.
Yeah, it won't feel that way. Absolutely, it won't. It'll fucking hurt.
Mitt fel dessutom.
It's not your fault.
Du ska inte bara fråga honom då så att du vet.
Yeah. Yeah. Just ask for the truth.
Det är så sant.
Ja, men han är typ helt okej ändå alltså. Fast det vet du i och för sig. Erik gick till honom också.
Interesting that his brother went to see him, but also very interesting that they always call him socialist. There's very much a social hierarchy in this school.
Men det har han liksom alltid sagt att vi ska hålla det privata privat.
This is a private setting. He's not going to tell anyone, bro.
Men det känns ensamt. Jag kände mig ensam förut också med Erik. Men jag var liksom okej med det.
He always had someone who understood.
Och sen förra terminen så träffade jag en vän som väckte nya känslor hos mig.
Oh, he's getting truly deep. My boy.
Jag önskar på ett sätt att det aldrig ens hade hänt. Det var liksom bättre att inte veta hur det kan kännas.
Wow. What a, like, eye-opening scene. It does truly touch your heart that simply knowing that his brother went to this guy has allowed him to be more open, you know? Like, that's so sweet, but it's true a lot of the things that Wilhelm said there. Even though it was just them, at least he had someone who understood his life, who was in the same, if not a worse situation, because at the time, his brother was crown prince, so he was obviously in the more stressful position. So now that he's on his own and he's now experiencing that stress and he's literally all alone, it must make it 10 times harder. And saying that he would have rather not felt it before, I do understand that. I think that that is a very human thing where when you love something and it ends up hurting you, you wonder if it was ever worth it at all. I disagree. I think that it definitely is. I think that feeling pain and going through struggles are as any much a part of being human as loving and being happy. You have to experience everything. If you don't, then you haven't lived a full life, you know? And pain helps you grow. Pain helps you understand certain parts of yourself. Like, without all of this, he wouldn't have gone to this guy and he may not have been able to sort out his anxiety issues as he is right now, which I'm really proud of him for, and I hope he continues going. But do you get what I mean? It allows you to grow and it allows you to look inside yourself and understand parts of you that you didn't before. So I do think this was all meant to be, but it still sucks to see him struggling. So what is it, Wilhelm, Sada, Simon? Oh, okay.
Hon drabbas av en djup religiös kris samtidigt som hon får känslor för en kvinnlig studiekamrat.
Interesting. Okay.
Ja, men i så fall går jag och fixar kaffe.
You asshole, you've left them alone. Good opportunity to get some truths though, Willa.
Varför sa du att du inte känner Marcus?
Oh, he just went for it. He just went for it.
Men inte att ni hänger. Om det är någonting mellan er kan du bara säga det.
The problem here is that I think Wilhelm took that very much the wrong way. He asked him if he knew him. He said that he knew him. He just didn't give him all the details, which, let's be fucking real, who would? Who would stand there in front of your very recent ex and say that it's a guy you went on a date with? You know what I mean? It's weird. You don't want to make the other person uncomfortable. You don't want to hurt them. So I think Simon was completely right in that situation. And it's not that he said they didn't hang out with him. It's just that he didn't go into the details. That's what Wilhelm needs to focus on. But not just that. I think a lot of us as human beings fall into this trap where we think that because we had a prior relationship to someone, we deserve to know what's going on with them now. We deserve to know who they're dating and what they're doing. which I don't think is true. I don't think that anyone deserves to know something like that. It's a private matter for an individual, but I don't blame Wilhelm for that. He's obviously struggling and he wants to know because he is feeling hurt at the idea that Simon is just moving on from him. So I do completely understand, but I just need Wilhelm to sit down with himself and try and understand Simon's feelings as well, you know?
Vi hänger.
My boy, I hate this so much. Wilhelm, don't be so combative.
Vi är inte tillsammans. Det har ingenting med det att göra egentligen, men det är inte det.
I agree. Like, it sucks, but I agree.
Jaha, vad har ni kommit fram till?
Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here hating on Wilhelm. I'm not sitting here saying, Wilhelm, what are you doing, you idiot? You know what I mean? Like, I'm very empathetic to him and I feel so bad for him. But at the end of the day, it is not his business what Simon goes and does. That is his business alone. I get that it would hurt him more if he thought that he was moving on. And I understand wanting to know. Any of us would want to know. It's natural. It's literally human nature to want to know what's going on when you like someone and you have no idea if they're getting with other people. It's natural. But that doesn't mean you deserve to know that information. And that doesn't mean that you should know that information. It's good of Simon to tell him because obviously it's on his mind and he's really struggling. So it was good to alleviate some of that stress. But Wilhelm is coming at this very sort of attacky, like Simon's done something wrong, which I don't think he has, in my opinion. He's just trying to move on and distract himself. Not necessarily even move on. I don't think he's necessarily trying to move on. He's just trying to sort out his feelings, you know, because it's all just so shit right now. They both love each other, obviously, but they can't be together. So what do you want him to do? Well, they can be together, but in secret, which doesn't suit anyone, you know? Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, no, delete. Okay. Aw, she's such a nice friend. I love it. She's slowly growing to be one of my favorite characters. She's just so sweet. He's still stuck on the same area that he was last episode. That's interesting. Sada, stay back. You might say something that is not helpful. No. Uh-oh, here we go.
Men det kanske är du som är problemet.
Ursäkta?
Han är ingen ridmaskin. Ja.
Right, I knew that this would happen. Sada being here is just not a good idea. Like, don't get me wrong, I completely understand. Like, she has a deep love for this animal and she respects this horse so much, but they're here to buy him. They need to get use out of him, which I know fucking sucks, but he is literally a riding horse. It is kind of like his mission in life, you know? So I do understand their perspective and they're judging him as an item to use, which it sucks. I don't like that. It's gross, but he needs to be sold, Sada. Like, he needs to be. So it just is what it is, you know? But I do understand. She doesn't want him to go to a family that wouldn't appreciate him.
Var vi klara här eller?
I hope Felice understands and doesn't just attack her for saying that, you know?
Ni kan inte sälja till dem. Alltså de personerna är allting som är fel med hästmänniskor. Nej, alltså det är ju klart att vi hittar någon bättre. Vi lovar. Det är klart. Kom nu.
Oh, I love that. I was scared that she might have a bit of a negative reaction because I know her parents are wanting her to sell the horse, so she'd be a bit like, Sada, what are you doing? But I'm glad that she understands that it all came from a place of wanting... The reason I'm not saying the horse's name is because I can't fucking pronounce it. Rousseau? I can't pronounce that. I don't know if I'm even saying it correctly. But the reason that she wants the horse to go to a good family is because he deserves it. She doesn't want him to go to some shitty family that will just use him to race and then not treat him well, you know? So I do completely understand, and I'm glad that that was a positive takeaway, you know? I don't think you can say fucking in a school song. Oh, that's so... Oh, wow.
Har du skrivit den själv? Den är bra. Vi får ta bort svordomen och sen måste vi ha hillerska någonstans så att folk förstår att det handlar om
Yeah.
skolan.
I mean, we all know it's not about the school though. But yeah, understandable. That's really sweet. I want to hear that again. I'm going to go back. Obviously this is going to be sung at that event. I can't remember what it's called. But I assume that is going to be in the finale and we're going to be having like a moment between them where they both understand what it's really about. But I don't know. It's more so a song about the memories that we had and the relationship that's past, which I don't like that, because obviously that means that it's kind of an acceptance of the relationship being over, which I don't want. I want them to be together. I know that it's shit, and I know that Simon doesn't want to be a secret. I completely understand that, but I'm talking, I want to get to a point where they can be in a relationship. Not publicly. Like, I understand that he's a royal and they aren't going to be in this huge public relationship, but you get what I mean. They don't want to be secretive about it. If he's going to be his boyfriend, he's going to be his boyfriend. So like, while the song was beautiful, and I'm sure we are going to get a really beautiful moment of it being sung to Wilhelm, I don't like that it sort of speaks of the end, you know?
Jag måste såklart prata med rektorn först. Men det är ett fantastiskt arv du har gjort.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Du är här, Simon. Du har talang.
To be in a school where he's kind of like ridiculed a lot and brought down, it's nice to see that he's at least got one teacher and one subject that he excels in, you know? Go the fuck off, my boy.
Imorgon så avgörs det.
What?
Tävling mot Granhult.
Oh, I completely forgot.
Bra tal. Vad ler du åt?
Uh-oh.
Vad ler du åt, sa jag.
Jag log inte.
Du säger emot mig.
Oh no. Power's gone to his head.
Du tar 300 disk. Tillsammans med August här.
Wow.
Skippa inte träningen bara.
What a dickhead.
Hej! Hur är du här?
Du, skulle du kunna kanske komma hem? Alltså du kan ju smyga in, typ. Eller ta brandtrappan eller...
Varför då?
Jag behöver bara prata om...
That's so awkward.
Tja. Vad händer?
Ses brodern. Hejdå.
Vadå, är ni vänner nu eller?
Nej.
Interesting. Obviously, Simon doesn't know because Wilhelm didn't tell him that it was August. So if that does come out in the future and he finds out that Sada and August are like somewhat of a thing, that won't go down too well. But also, does anyone know that Sada knew? I don't think they do they? It's just her and August that know that she had information about who sent out the video, you know? But yeah, anyway, sorry, we'll see.
Ja, men det känns som att han försöker att inte vara det.
That's good for him. We're all here for growth.
Jag ville se vad du gjorde.
Okej, så du är inte här för att träffa Marcus?
Now, is this going to be a positive or negative? Because I thought it would be negative, but I'm not sure now.
Alltså jag tror inte jag är redo för något seriöst. Jag tänkte att jag ville säga det.
It's very good of you, well done. It's good to let people know where you're at.
Det är helt okej om inte du är redo. Jag menar, vi har inte bråttom du och jag. Jag kan vänta. Det är lugnt.
Men jag vet inte när jag blir det.
Jag förstår att han fuckar dig, men jag är inte som honom.
I get that he fucked you over. Interesting.
Jag kan bara inte just nu.
Du kanske inte heller direkt har de bästa förebilderna för bra relationer heller. Efter din pappa. Jag förstår att det måste varit svårt för dig och Sara. Du är inte som din pappa.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I'm getting multiple red flags. It's making me uncomfortable. I need to rewatch this again just to like sort my feelings out because I feel like 1,000 thoughts just went through my head.
Jag kan bara inte just nu.
Sad puppy dog eyes.
Efter din pappa.
Bringing up his dad as if he knows him better.
Svårt.
Yeah, I don't like it. Multiple red flags. I don't like the sad puppy dog eyes and face because that felt very much like a, oh, okay, you know, even if it's unintentional manipulation, it feels like manipulation. And then bringing up his dad as a sore subject and saying that it's not a very healthy role model. I do understand that, and he might be correct, but I don't think this is the right setting, nor do I think he knows Simon well enough to make these kind of comments, you know? And then thirdly, the touching and the caressing, that's like an intimate gesture, which once again, you're not at that place. And it feels it feels very manipulative. I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but I don't like this one bit. It's actually like watching that made me feel so uncomfortable. And when he reached out and touched him, that was like the final straw for me. I don't like that at all. I was very open to Simon exploring this just so that he could like, I don't know, get his feelings out and just have a break from all the drama. But after this, I don't know. It feels very icky to me. I don't know if it's just like my own personal problems. I don't know if I'm being just, if I'm right in this, but yeah, those were multiple red flags for me. Come here, yeah. Nah, bro. Nah. Not liking that one bit. I know. Wait, what did he just say? I know you don't want to destroy something this beautiful. Oh, that's made me so uncomfy. If the thing that he's talking about is the potential relationship between him and him, nah. I don't like that at all. Because it's the whole wording of the situation. I know you don't want to destroy something this beautiful. Those are 3 key words. I know, meaning that he knows for a fact that this is the case. And then destroy, being that if Simon wasn't with Marcus, he would destroy the relationship. It's such like a harsh word for what it really is. They haven't really got anywhere. And then thirdly, something this beautiful. Something beautiful. It feels all manipulative to me. I'm sorry if I'm reading too into this, and I'm sorry if you're sitting there thinking that like, what? But to me, if I was in Simon's situation right now, I would have just got the most humongous ick of my life. And I would cut shit out right there. Nah. He's told you he doesn't want anything. I don't like that. What, in front of Wilhelm? Is that your plan? I love how my entire opinion has just shifted.
Hej. Du luktar häst.
You smell like a horse. It might be true, but what?
Vadå för något?
Nej, men jag trodde att vi skulle... Alltså jag tänkte som att du frågade om...
Ja, nej, jag menar inte så. Jag vill bara prata, typ.
It is interesting because when he asked her, I sat here and thought that he was asking about sex because obviously she mentioned it last time. He had a huge grin on his face and then he's feeling a bit lonely right now, so maybe he would want that, but it seems as though he more so wants the intimacy of another person, which I do respect. I'm trying really hard to not see August as this horrible human being because he's done tremendously bad things and he has completely fucked up Simon and Wilhelm's relationship and he's completely fucked over Wilhelm fully and sent him down a dark spiral. But I'm trying to see him as a human being who fucked up and wants to change, but it is hard. So I'm not upset that he's looking for comfort. I'm not upset that he's getting it from Sada, but I don't like the amount of secrets going on. I don't like for one, Simon doesn't know that August did that, and then 2, doesn't know that Sada knows, and then 3, doesn't know that they're together right now. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's just not good for her either. I don't know. I've got such mixed thoughts on this man because it's like 50% of my brain is telling me to hate him, and then the other side is telling me to be compassionate. So I'm just kind of like stuck in the middle of I hate you, but I'm not sad that you want comfort. Do you know what I mean?
Drottningen har...
Oh, he wants to talk about that. Okay.
Kallat in mig till slottet.
Summoned me to the castle.
Ja, men du har ändå sagt att det känns som att du har gått omkring och väntat på en käftsmäll. Nu vet du i alla fall när käftsmällen kommer.
I mean, I guess.
Som att alla kommer liksom hata mig och jag kommer tappa allt. Jag känner mig bara som världens värsta människa.
I mean, I don't think you're the worst person in the world, but I do think that people hating you should, 1, be expected, and 2, is just, you know? It's correct in what you did. You have to understand, August, that when you do something wrong, when you fuck up, there will be consequences. There's no getting around that.
Men ibland känns det bara som att alla hatar en. Så var det för mig.
Om jag klarar det så klarar du det också.
I do understand her wanting to help him. I don't like the idea of him completely getting away with it, you know? Like, he did something shit, he has to own up to it, and then he can move on. I mean, look, if Sarah can help make him into a better person, go for it, love. I think he needs all the help he can get in that regard. Good on you though, love. Tell him how it is. Tell him to put that shit on. What I find interesting is in my brain, I'm thinking that this is cute. And I'm thinking that like, oh, that's sweet. Which I wouldn't have applied to August before this. Where are you going? Aww. That was really cute. Fucking hell, who would have thought Sada and August would make me feel lonely? Let's go. Fuck yourself. That's so cool. Oh god, here he is. I just find it so hilarious how my opinion has completely been warped. It's made me feel off. Because I was so okay with it at the start of the episode. Oh, he fell off. Oh shit. Oh shit. Because that's going to really help, isn't it, bro? You attack the people in your team. I feel really bad for Simon in that because like he already feels really shit in the team and he already feels like he's targeted more than the others. So to be like swung around on by your team captain and call you a fucking moron. Do you know what I mean? Like, does he really think that's going to help boost morale? Pisses me off when people are like that. No!
Nästa år så tar vi dem. Jag måste tillbaka till skolan. I hate that. I hate that. Oh, this man is really... my opinion of this man has completely flipped this episode. Holy shit. I hated that. I feel like he knew exactly what he was doing there. He's asked you... He said that he doesn't think he's ready for a relationship. You didn't listen. You basically manipulated him into agreeing to taking it slow. And now you've come to his school to a competition and kissed him in front of everyone. But most importantly, the ex. Like, you know exactly what you're doing there, my friend. And that makes me trust you even less. Nah. Not a fan of Marcus.
Simon är väl för långt bak. Alla vet det. Varför skyller du på honom? Så jävla onödigt bara. Allt det här är bara till för att skapa någon sorts känsla av samhörighet som vi ändå inte har. Så det är inte viktigt.
True.
Vet du vad, Vincent? Jag hoppar av. Jag behöver inte ta det här.
Ja, jag tycker i alla fall att vi ska hämnas.
Wow.
I natt så drar vi till Granhult. Och så äggar vi hela huset. Okay?
Because that's great. That's a great way to take a loss. What a child. What a man-child. I've never wanted to give someone a hug so much in my fucking life, bro. Dude, I can't deal with this right now. Holy shit. I can't just move on from that, bro. Whoa. You know, it's a sign of a great actor when they truly just have you immersed in a scene. Because I was just feeling everything he was feeling then. Jesus Christ. I'm glad he has Felice, and I'm glad that she was there to, like, snap him out of it, you know? Because, like, hearing a song about being so lonely and, like, feeling so lonely, feeling like you have no one to go to, you have no one to talk to, and then having your friend come up to you and be like, what are you doing out here? Like, it kind of breaks you out of that spiral. And I hope that she can really help him, you know? And really... Because they've obviously got a good bond here, but it's a very... I wouldn't say it's a superficial friendship, because they do talk about the deep shit, but they don't talk about the deep, deep shit, you know? He keeps a lot of that to himself. And I think that alone is a defense mechanism. Like, you learn over time to share just enough to make someone feel like you're being deep, but you don't go far enough to talk about the actual problems, about the actual things that get to you on a daily basis. So I hope that him and Felice can get to there, because he really needs someone like that right now.
Ers Majestät.
Sätt dig.
Förlåt. Jag har förstört allt. Jag skäms.
Kan du sluta?
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
Jag går rakt på sak. Wilhelms beteende den här sista tiden har oroat hovet så till den grad att man känner sig nödgad att ha en reservplan.
Backup plan?
Den reservplanen är i så fall du.
Jag.
Excuse
Det
me?
innebär att du måste lägga om.
Excuse me? How does that make any sense? I'm just a little bit confused because why would he be the backup plan? Is he the only eligible person in line to the throne? Even if so, how could you trust a man like this after what he's done? I'm so confused.
Så tacksam att drottningen vill ge mig den här chansen.
Ja, det är inte min idé, ska du veta.
Yeah, she seems very like sick to her stomach, you know?
Jag kommer alltid stå bakom min son. Sätta honom först.
Hell yeah, thank you.
Du är närmast i tronföljden.
Okay, he's next in line. Wow.
Drottningen ska se att jag förtjänar en andra chans. Jag kommer inte göra er besviken.
Kind of at a loss for words, guys. Because, like, sorry to pause again, I know I just did, but it's nice to see that she stood up for her son. She said, don't get me wrong, I will always stand by my son. And I do understand that it's a royal court. It's not just her. She's not just the one in charge of everyone, you know? Like, she's got a lot of people who work with her. So I understand that it's more like a company where, like, you have the CEO and then you have, like, the board of directors. It's like, it's not just her decision. So I do understand that. And I'm glad that she stood by her son, but yeah, this is all really weird. I did not see that as the outcome of this conversation. My boy. Aww.
Hur länge ska jag känna så här?
Alltså, det kommer gå över. Även om det inte känns så just nu.
Aww, they're so cute. Please don't tell me this is going where I think it's going. Please. I really enjoy their friendship. I don't want it to be ruined. Don't. I know we're near the end of the episode, so I'm sorry for pausing. And I just want to make my thoughts clear because I feel like it's going to be one of those classic, like, people think I'm not happy with this because it's now a straight relationship, where that's not the case. I'm not happy with this because I've really, really enjoyed their friendship and how they've grown as friends this season. And given that she is his only friend right now, like his only real friend, the idea of them getting into a potential relationship that probably won't work out because he's obviously still hung up on Simon, I don't think that this is a good idea, and I don't want him to lose her as a friend. I feel like this is one of those classic scenarios of just being so hurt and so lonely that you just latch on to what you can. And he's obviously got feelings for Felice, being that they are good friends. So I'm just thinking that it's a bit of confusion on that. Like, he's confused where to draw the line with those feelings. It annoys me in TV as well whenever you have a relationship between people of a different gender who have, like, the same ability to be attracted to each other, like they have compatible sexualities. I don't like how it almost always leads to a relationship. Why can't they just be friends? You know what I mean? So I'm not a huge fan of this, but we'll see. It looked like Felice was about to say something. Interesting. We're not going all the way, are we? I feel like you can't go back from that.
Vi ska pranka
Oh,
Granhult.
Jesus.
Vi ska pranka Granhult som hämnd efter rodden.
She's fucking legging it. Yeah. I don't know what to say to all that. Give me a minute to, like, process. So yes, there we have season 2, episode 3 of Young Royals, and what a development. What a development. I'm trying to, like, I've talked about my thoughts on them two as a couple, and I'm not too happy with the concept of that. And I think a lot of it is also that I'm still holding out hope that him and Simon can sort their shit out, and
hopefully talk to the queen and all that. And then with this opening with August, maybe not be prince and maybe actually have a life together, you know? But that was just a very... I would like to say it was unexpected, but I even said like episode 1 when him and Felice were getting close, I literally said that I hope this doesn't go down the route that it just did. So I don't know, but then they did just leave it off on a very awkward moment. I want to hear where Wilhelm's head's at before making like full comments on it, you know. I don't want to delve deep into this until I actually see what he thought of that situation, because obviously he was very caught up in his own emotions. He was very caught up in feeling sad and lonely and just in pain. So it could have just been one of those moments where now it's over, and now that he's like calmed down a bit, he's like, fuck, what did we just do? I don't want this. I don't want to ruin the relationship, etc. So yeah, I need to hear his thoughts before exploring that any further. Now, speaking of August, wow, what a development. I forgot that he was of royal blood. I forgot that they were related, him and Wilhelm. I don't know how I forgot, but I did. So that was just, that I was not expecting that at all. Very glad that the queen stood by her son. Very glad that she made it clear that this was not my decision. I will always stand by my son, but it is what it is. The royal court has decided. I can't do much about it. We don't really have anyone else. So you're basically just the backup plan. So I do wonder if she's going to say it to Wilhelm that this is the case. I don't think she will, because I think that in her mind, she's scared that if she tells Wilhelm that there is a backup, that he will immediately be like, well, good, because I'm not going to be prince and I'm going to stop trying then. You know, I think she wants him to keep trying just in case. But yes, very interesting developments indeed. But yeah, anyway, with all that said, I am going to move on to Patreon questions because my mind is still a bit foggy. Right, first up, people have very mixed feelings about Marcus. After this episode, how do you feel? I don't like him. I don't. I sat with my thoughts for a minute between like saying I was going to look at Patreon questions and then actually answering, because I was mulling over my feelings of everyone. And for Marcus, I don't like him because so basically backtrack a bit. We first met him. I was very open to him and Simon like exploring their relationship, and just because I wanted Simon to have like a place to get his feelings out and a place to feel comfy, because he was obviously still very much hurting after the breakup. But then last episode, we had some development for Simon and Wilhelm, and it kind of brought up a lot of my old feelings of wanting them to be together. So I was a little less on board going into this episode, but what really tipped me over the scale was his behavior. I did not like that one fucking bit. The way it felt, I get that some people might find him to be a sweet guy. I do understand, because if you take all of the scenes that Marcus was in this episode and you say you just put it onto paper and you read it in like a sweet voice, so to say, then it would come across as nice. It would come across like he's understanding him and he's being there for him. But I did not read it that way. The way I read interactions like that, and I don't know if it's like my own prejudices and my own like insecurities and struggles with people, but the way I read situations like that is take the words and truly think about what they mean and who is saying them. He's saying to Simon that you don't have very good role models in your life, specifically your father and his relationship, which, yes, not a good role model in terms of being in a relationship, as he did say that his mother told him that it was a toxic situation. So I understand that, and that might be true. But saying something like that implies that you know someone very well and you know someone better than they know themselves. And not just that, but bringing up an emotional thing like his father, something that he struggles with, something that is obviously, I don't know if he is, but I get the vibe that Simon is a little bit ashamed of his father because of the route that he's gone down. So bringing up something like that when he's just, the thing that annoyed me the most was that Simon came to Marcus and said, I'm not ready for anything. He then said, we're not in a rush. And you could see on Simon's face that he was like, you're not understanding. It's not that I want us to go slow, it's that I'm not ready for anything. But he kept pushing. He then brought up his father, which is an emotional, like, it's like an emotional hard point on Simon, that if you access that, you're going to bring up a lot of emotions and it's going to confuse him because he's going to have mixed feelings in that scene. So it's kind of a form of manipulation. Even if it's not intentional, it's manipulation. And then taking that and going and caressing him and touching him, it's intimate. It then gives the feeling of you can trust this person. They are here to comfort you. And it just, red fucking flags. That is not good. That reads as someone who is manipulative, someone who will not stop until they get their way, someone who is not actually concerned about your feelings, no matter how much they say. They're only concerned with getting what they want. That's how that read to me, and it gave me the biggest ick in the entire world. I would never go near a man like that. And to like take advantage of someone, the problem with the term manipulation is it's always assigned to someone who is doing it intentionally. You hear manipulation and you think that this person is standing here thinking, how can I make them do what I want? Which isn't always the case with manipulation. Manipulation can be subconscious. It can be something that you're not aware that you're doing, but it is still manipulation. And I think that that is what's happening here. I don't think that Marcus has come over here and thought, you know what, how can I get to him? How can I get to all of the emotions that Simon is feeling, and how can I convince him to be with me? I don't think that that's what's going on here. I think he genuinely thinks that he's helping, but he is being manipulative no matter what way you swing it. So I just don't think he is healthy for Simon right now. I really don't. Now, this was a two-part question. So the second part, what do you think August's motives are for defending Simon in the locker room? I didn't talk about that, but I found that very interesting because it's a part of August that we haven't really seen before. I think that in getting closer to Sada, he would obviously be well aware that that's her brother and he doesn't want to be on his bad side. But also, we saw a lot of August regretting his actions this episode and feeling shit about them. And then the whole nervousness of knowing that he's going to go and see the Queen after what he's done. I think it's very chaotic in August's head right now, and he's feeling bad for what he did. So in his own way, he was sort of like making up for it by being kind to Simon and by trying to be on his side, because it's kind of, it works both ways for August, because it goes against his friend who's taken over as prefect, who he's pissed off with. So it's like a good benefit there because he's annoyed at him. But then also it allows him to feel better in himself because he's defending the guy that he hurt, which I don't think the two are comparable. I don't think that what August did can be made up for by defending him in a locker room, you know? But I think that that's what was going on there. He's been feeling shit. He's been feeling like he's the worst person in the world. So he's trying to make up for it in any way. Right. Lastly, Simon blames himself for not being able to fall in love with Marcus. Obviously, we're not meant to fall in love with every semi-decent person out there. But what do you think it is about Wilhelm in particular that he loves? Interesting. I haven't really thought about the aspects of Wilhelm that Simon loves. I think that Wilhelm is very dependent on the people around him because obviously he can't trust a lot of people. So when he finds someone that he can trust, he like grips onto them. And I think Simon likes that. I think he likes that he has this warm, caring boy around him. The reason I'm struggling to answer this question is because I love Wilhelm so much. He's such a nice guy. You see his struggles. You see him, at least around Simon, wear his emotions on his chest. So I completely just, I have such a love for that boy and I just want to hug him and I just want to tell him that everything's going to be okay. So it's weird to actually sit down and talk about the aspects of him that Simon likes because I like everything about him, you know? He's just a really nice guy. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this as like a fucking creep. I'm not saying like as in I'm attracted to him. I'm saying it as in like, I care for this boy as if he's a younger brother, you know? It's like I really just want to be there for him and comfort him. And I don't... The only negatives I've ever been able to find for Wilhelm is just that he's very be-all and end-all, and he doesn't have a lot of understanding of other people's emotions because I think he's suppressed his so much that when it comes to understanding other people's motives, he often goes to like the worst option. So for instance, Simon wants space. Wilhelm took that as him not caring. Do you know what I mean? It's taking the absolute worst case scenario of everything. That's the literal only negative I've ever found for Wilhelm. He's not manipulative. He's not mean. He's caring. You know he would never cheat because he's like very loyal. There's so many aspects of Wilhelm that I think that Simon would be drawn to. He's just a great guy, you know? But yeah, sorry if that was an awful answer to your question. I know I didn't say anything specific, but I struggle really hard to find specifics when I love everything about him. You know what I mean? But yes, anyway, with that said, that was episode 3 of Young Royals. I am very well aware that I only have 3 episodes left. I'm very well aware that that is only 2 hours of Young Royals left. I hope we don't have to wait a year and a half for the next season. If we get another season, I don't think it's been renewed yet, but I swear to God, if we don't get another season, I will genuinely be so confused, because if the people at Netflix can't see that this show is worth saving and that this show is as fucking good as it is, then I've lost all hope for Netflix, you know? Like, I was annoyed at them for cancelling Julie and the Phantoms, but don't get me wrong, I love that show, but this is another level. This is a show of its own caliber. It's just incredible. So when we get to season 3, I hope it is not too far away. But yes, with that said, thank you very much for watching. I've left a link down below to my Patreon, where you're able to find the early and uncut reactions to Young Royals and all the other shows that I do. And if I stick to schedule and I am able to get this up on Wednesday, which is not a promise, then you will be able to see this in time to know that on Thursday the 17th and Thursday the 18th of November, I will be streaming the new Pokemon Scarlet game over on my Twitch. I'll be doing a big stream because I'm fucking obsessed with Pokemon, so I'll be playing it for a long time. So if that interests you, please hop over there. Any support would be appreciated. But yes, anyway, with that said, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.